Welcome back, my honey glazed chocolate sprinkle. You're going to learn about the crypto risk curve. Everything's got a risk curve. The smarty pants people will try to use these complicated terms to explain what it is, but I put it for you in a very easy to understand question. How long is it going to take me to retire with $10,000 in this coin? That's all it is. It's the same with stocks, bonds, everything. That's what you're thinking about. So if you had a pocket of money, how long is it going to take for me to retire? The lowest risk stuff is going to obviously take you the most. We're going to go through this risk curve. Check this out. Bitcoin might take you 16 years to retire. I know this part, a lot of people got upset, but yes, it's true, man. $10,000, you ain't retiring in Bitcoin. Even if Bitcoin hits $1 million, you're only up $300,000. And you might say, hey, it's going to hit there. Okay, yeah, of course it's going to hit there. But here's the problem. The problem is, for Bitcoin to hit $1 million, you got to ask yourself two questions. How much inflation was there really in the world? And number two, what did the crypto industry do in that time? Bitcoin is not hitting $1 million in a vacuum. It's almost like the world is now saying to me, don't buy Bitcoin at all. It really is. I hate to say it, breaks my heart, but that's the truth. Because look, I just gave you this scenario. In one scenario, the inflation's so high where it's not that much gains anyway, 10K to 300K of 8, 12, 16 years. And in the other scenario, Bitcoin going to $1 million has absolutely moonshotted the crypto industry, which means everything else went way bigger. There were way bigger opportunities. Think about it. So what about Ethereum? Okay, so I've actually made this chart for you to show you the risk curve. So you can see in the bottom left, Bitcoin is down here. The lowest risk, lowest probable ROI. Now, but these are potential gains. This is just an estimation. This is the investors we plotted out. We say, hey, this is what the market values today. The market can get things wrong. For example, Bitcoin used to be nothing in the industry, nothing, and Bitcoin was super, super, super high risk bleeding edge. Bitcoin was all the way to the top right. And then what happened? What happened was Metcalfe's law, people come in, and then eventually it started drifting bottom to the left. That's what happens because your risk is low. Now, I will speak about risk differently, but how I'm going to communicate it to you is I'm going to communicate it to you like how the influencers and everyone else talks about it, just because it's easier. So for me, when I look at risk, it's completely different. My risk is it's the chance of the future playing out that I can see in my mind. And you might have a different future to someone else. So how you perceive risk is going to be different. That's how I think about risk. That's how you actually should think about it. You go learn of Warren Buffett and all the other great investors. They don't say risk is just the price up or down volatility. That's not actually risk. That's what the quant nerds in universities put it as, because they've got to write some maths formula. Okay, so in my mind, for example, if I know everybody's expecting $1 million Bitcoin and Bitcoin's 30K and Bitcoin goes to $100,000 and stops there for 10 years, to me, that's very risky. That's enormous risk because my expectation's $1 million, it completely underwhelms it, and that's it. Opportunity cost destroyed. But you're not going to hear that perspective from the other influencers. The other influencers, everybody's charting against USD. So everyone's going to say, no, it's great. It succeeded. You can see how, right? Now, but this is the yield, the risk, the crypto risk curve we're taking for retirement. So you really got to understand this and how the market might get things right or wrong. And of course, they're going to get things wrong. I mean, look, Bitcoin at the very start was at the very, very top right. So 16 years, it's a long time, man. You got to think about this world. So that might play out. So what about Ethereum? If we move to the next one, obviously Ethereum is the number 2 baby doll. And I will say it's probably a bit faster. I just guessed maybe 12 years. But you need some conditions here to do it. So this is the world you're imagining. You need Ethereum to flip Bitcoin, and you've got to be staked. So the yield in 12 years might turn that 10K into $1 million. So I even have here the exact ratios you're probably going to need, right? You need ETH-BTC 0.10, and you need the yield compounded. So these conditions will help you do that. I can actually show you this on the chart. Like, what do you actually need? So all these ratios, all these numbers, they're meaningless unless you have someone who's a baby doll to actually show you this. So you can actually draw here. I'm going to get a line here. I'm going to show you exactly where you need it to cross. So 0.16 around here is about the flipping. That's where it is. So looking at this chart, it almost looks like an inevitability. It really does. because Ethereum's just nutsack is absolutely huge, huge, going up to the right. And you could just see this, it's tapering off, but it almost seems like an inevitability with how much they're burning, and the first mover advantage of smart contracts for Ethereum is huge. I'm not saying other smart contracts platforms aren't going to come and do really well. It's just that Ethereum's the first mover, man. To be the first one, people attach a huge brand name. For example, if I say the words smart contracts to you or smart contract platform, Ethereum is the first one you're gonna land on. First one. Now, usually when you say like, what's crypto, people are always gonna put Bitcoin. But remember, we have a new generation of people coming in. This is not the crowd from 2012 to 2015 anymore. We're going in 2023. So this is what we're gonna have to look at going forward. So you're gonna need Ethereum ETH BTC up to around here. Yeah, I can see it happening. So it's not that far. We go up there. And you're going to need the prices to be huge. And look, this is crazy. I mean, yes, I know this number is going to shock you, but when you look at this number, you can deduce the actual real price of Ethereum, what's going to be when Bitcoin is that high. So yeah, what this ratio means is, friends, a couple of you guys get confused. This is Ethereum as a percent of Bitcoin in terms of price. So ETH BTC here, 0.165 means Ethereum has to be 16.5% of Bitcoin's price. Now, you don't know what Bitcoin's price is. It just has to be 16.5%. So you might say to me, hey, if Bitcoin is $120,000 one day and Ethereum matches it or just flips it, 0.17, right? What is Ethereum's price? You have 20,400. That's what the price is. So then you might say to me, hang on. Does this mean if Bitcoin is $1 million, let's say Bitcoin is $500,000 in 10 years and ETH BTC is 0.21, yes, that's right. You're looking at $105,000 Ethereum. Yeah, that's the numbers. I don't make this up. This is it. This is what the chart implies, what everything says. If everything keeps going this way, it gets there. So that would be about a 10 trillion market cap for Ethereum. And this is gargantuanly big. It is big right now. But hey, you never know, because look, they're printing so much money. They're printing 5 to 6% every year, okay? So if you roll that forward, if you do like 1.05 on average times for 10 years compounded, you're not going to get a double, but you're going to get close to a double of the money supply. So what that kind of means is if the stock market, the world stock market is 110 trillion, okay? So world stock market, we have to write this down. So world stocks equals about 110 trillion. So in 10 years, it will be 200 trillion, because that's another double. You know, the stock market doubles every 10 years, about 7% growth. Think about this, baby dolls. So if the stock market in 10 years is 200 trillion, Ethereum being 10 trillion and Bitcoin being 10 trillion as well. Let's just say Bitcoin 10 trillion. Not so crazy after all. You see how this world's going? Now, obviously, a bomb can go off, comets explode, dinosaurs come back from the dead. Anything can happen, but this is just what it shows. The trajectory is like this. And it's not linear. It's just you're compounding over time slowly. And this is what you get. These numbers aren't crazy at all when you think about it like this. Like you think, hey, if the world stock market's 200 trillion, what's going to be happening on Ethereum? That's crazy to think about. I hope Bitcoin gets to this 10 trillion. I hope it doesn't just fade away like some of the tech stocks that were popular in the 90s, but it is what it is. The brand name is so strong, they're going to be around. But we don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but this is what you're betting on. So this is still a great future, but look how long it's going to take you still. You got 10K. So this is why I kind of tell you, like, look, we don't know the future exactly, but if you made money in lots of altcoins, whatever you're doing, just hedge yourself a bit. Have some Bitcoin and Ethereum. Maybe get some Ethereum first, and then when you have enough of that you're comfortable with, get a bit of Bitcoin. Just because look at this future I've shown. Like, what if the community you're in, what if something devastating happens? You got to protect yourself. At least you have this over time. This is what I'm saying. You don't have to go all in on any of these, of course, but you're protecting yourself. There's a super long-term view. This is where it's going. Right now, we can't see Ethereum just dying. You can't see that in your head. And Bitcoin's not going anywhere. You can kind of feel it, right? So we're going to hope fingers crossed that we can get an early read onto these if they start happening ahead of time. You're not going to know exactly, but you can kind of feel it. For example, you can see the old 2017 coins. They had no chance in 2021. Was anybody buying Neo? I know people were stealing coins like Tron, but what about EOS? Like, you could see it just like, hey, no one cares about this stuff. There's no innovation. Do you see how obvious it was just not to pick them? Let's just hope that these big blue chips, Bitcoin, Ethereum, that they don't really go the way of the dodo. I don't think they will. But I mean, look what the industry's done to us. You just get shaken up all the time. So you always got to be on your toes. But now we kind of agree, right? We can tell the life-changing gains, they are not in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Because, I mean, you got 10 grand, you want to throw it in. You go, yeah, well, you can invest anything in 10, 15 years. It almost might be better for you to just leave your money there and just say, hey, I'm going to park my money in Bitcoin and Ethereum for those 10, 15 years. And anything that pops up along the way, I'll have a go. That's another way to play it. So you don't have to invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum and just say to yourself, well, I don't want to hold this for 10, 15 years. Go, yeah, you don't have to, but it's a good place to park your money. Like, what if another opportunity doesn't come that's obvious to you for another 18 months? You could get price growth in that time, okay? So this risk curve, right? Ethereum, right next to Bitcoin, their liquidity is bonded, et cetera, et cetera. The opportunity to change your life in such a short term, it's pretty much gone. It's gone. It can happen. I mean, 10 years, hey, it's better than the stock market. It's still way better than the stock market. If you have any life savings in Australia, superannuation, 401k, for me personally, I'll just literally dunk it in Bitcoin, Ethereum. I wouldn't even think twice. It is a no-brainer. The stock market's only going to double every 10 years. So if you do 7% compounded for 10 years, you get a double. 10 years, man. 10 years. That's a no-brainer to be in Bitcoin or Ethereum. I would personally choose Ethereum, but I mean, maybe you could do both, because you're not going to really have a full grip on anything when you're forecasting things out this long. We're just trying to get an idea. So that leaves us with the next juice. Strong large caps. Let's read this together. Strong large caps might take 4 to 8 years to retire with 10K. So one cycle, or it could be 2 cycles. All right. Some will go 10x, but others, they're going to go 100x in 2 cycles from your entry price. This is super important, all right? Super important, because I can already see the reply guys and girls saying, no. If you bought the exact bottom of this coin and you held it to the top, it went 100x. No one cares about that. No one cares, dude. Don't give me that, because look, you have to look at the volume nodes. You can see where most of the volume is. You can actually get an idea and a gauge of where the average entry price is. Do you know that in Bitcoin, Bitcoin did like a 20x from the low to the high in the previous cycle, 33K to 3,500 to 70K, whatever. I want you to know the most highest volume here was 10,500. So that's for Bitcoin. That is the average person. So 60 to 70% of people's entry prices are literally at this point. 60 to 70%. Everyone is in from here. Then you have like 5% here. You also have a couple 5% up there. It's around 10,500, and they have a bit like 11 to 12K, etc., etc. So that's big, right? 75%, literally, basically almost everyone. Could be almost 80%, really, when you think about it. But that is a big amount of people. So all you do is you go to 10,500. Let's go up to this price, and you go to the very, very, very top. They made a 6x maximum, 6.5x as a quote. And now today, they're only up 2.5x. How disgusting is that? After all these years, 2.5x. So you can see where the average volume is. So don't give me, a lot of people are going to, look, I actually went all in here. All right. Literally all in. And I do mean all in. I was buying all in here. But I'm not saying, oh, Bitcoin did great, gave you 20x. You can't think like that, okay? You have to be intellectually honest with the market and yourself and the gains and what's realistic for you. Because you saw how low crypto went in 2022, all right? It made a lot of people cry. And who knows, it could still go even lower. There's no guarantees. So you got to be intellectually honest with yourself and how you move forward with this. So I've got to reiterate here, most people did not buy the bottom, all right? And if they did, it's just a clip. It's not the whole average entry price, all right? So if you get the 100x within 8 years, your 10K will be 1 million. Wouldn't that be fantastic? So I've just done 8 years just as like a fail safe, just in case. Because look, I'll be honest, we're in some of the coins. You know, I'm in Hex, Pulse Chain community. I think Chainlink can do the 30x as well, or more. Chainlink's fair value should be like 90x higher after everything transpires. But many people out there are not in altcoins. So yes, we believe we're the chosen ones, but everybody believes they're the chosen ones. Everyone thinks they're going to the promised land. Everyone, every single community, even the Litecoin people. The Litecoin people still think it's going to reprice 20x higher against Bitcoin. They still believe that. I hope it happens for them, by the way. It really does. XRP people believe XRP $13 to $19 is coming up, and then $28. Okay, I know some of these are you laugh, but no, people. What makes us different? We believe we're the best. Why? Answer me that. Everybody believes they're the best, and according to Metcalfe's law, everyone's got the same number of people. Everybody's on the curve. Everyone's got a transferable number of people. So one community's got more than the other, but it's all along the same field. No one's got any magic. If it's all about who do you believe is going to basically go viral? Who do you think has the right strategy, community, passion, energy that can do that and survive the whole time? So I'm just here to be independent. I want you to think about yourself. You got friends and family. Everyone thinks they're going to make it. The Cardano people still think they're going to flip Ethereum. Right? Ethereum people still think they're going to flip Bitcoin. The Bitcoin people still believe all the altcoin money is going to rotate to them and Bitcoin dominance is going 100%. Yes, every single community believes they're the chosen one. So I'm here just to protect you. All right, I'm here to protect you because we've got to weave our way around this because there's going to be some mudslinging going around. All right, so this strong large caps, I believe this makes the most sense. So I've looked at every part of the risk curve and, I've explored this. So don't think I didn't do this. I'm like, okay, what about if I put a leverage trade in Bitcoin? What would the numbers be? How long would it take? What about Ethereum? Because, you can just cheat mode and leverage it. That's what a lot of people do because they don't want to do the hard work and come into the large cap communities and the biggest, strongest network effect altcoin communities. They don't want to come in. So what they say is they go, well, if I do a 5x long on my Bitcoin, I don't need it to go to 500K. I only need it to go to 100K because I've got 5 times more leverage. That's how they all think about it in their mind. And what they don't know is it can go down 25% in a week and then go up and liquidate you. So people obviously learn this the hard way. So I did all the maths and the numbers and obviously it came so clear to me. I was like, this is overwhelmingly such an easy home run for me to hit. I explored everything. So I'm going to show you, my journey through the meme coins to explore that too, because the shotgun approach worked in the past 2 cycles. Not going to work now. All right. They've been diminishing gains as well. So these strong, large alt caps, because you can get, obviously the PooPoo ones, you're going to get an 8 to 10x. That's what XRP did in the last one. Unfortunately, if things just don't go your way, that's what you're going to get. But the good ones can get a 30x, and 30x is huge. Don't think it's not, because if you get 30x in one cycle, all right, you get 30x in one cycle and you can earn yield or do what you can in the next cycle after that. All you need is another 3 to 4x. That's all you need. And you've got your 100x. So you've got your 100x off your 10K, which puts you at $1 million. Everyone likes that round number. You got that within 8 years. Isn't that fantastic? All right. Now, you can keep going further down the risk curve. So, this is where I've got Chainlink, Hex, Pulse Chain, PulseX. You got these around this middle part of the risk curve. So, I love this part. I love this part because all their prices are cheap against BTC and ETH. So, all their prices are very low on a chart. Hex, ETH, you've got Chainlink versus Ethereum. Super cheap. And Bitcoin and Ethereum's liquidity is so thick, it's so much easier just to move them. So I can see it's clear in my mind, these large caps. All right. Now, as we move on, you're going into the deep doo-doo zone, the poopy zone. This is, unfortunately, there's too much of a supply of these now. That's the underlying issue. So mid and micro caps, they are the very edge of the risk curve. This is where you start to venture out into literally the darkest forest parts. Right? Now, people want to retire in them in less than 1 year. And honestly, I'm giving them benefit of the doubt here because go speak to anybody who buys these stuff. 1 year is too long for them. All right. They're thinking about 1 week to 3 months. You can tell. You can tell by the comments. I don't even need to say anything about it. All right. And unfortunately, it's not even a 99% failure rate. It's 99.99% failure rate. Yes, these digits are on purpose. It's not 99%, 1 in 100. If it was that, maybe you can have a lot of people breaking even, but they're not. A lot of people buying a lot of meme coins, they're just losing now. This did not used to happen. If you did this in 2017, you did the shotgun approach, bought every junk, you actually made a lot of money, 50 to 100x's everywhere. If you did this approach in 2021, which is what I did to get my results, right? You've seen everybody's seen my results. This was all shotgun approach. So you can see this. This was shotgun approach when it loads, and you'll be able to see all these results coming because I just bought heaps of coins, only recorded the ones that were 4x or higher. You can see all of these names. I don't like any of these names. I'm like, man, the good names I had, these aren't on here, but that's because I didn't go. What am I supposed to do, right? Like literally, Pikachu coin, hello, did a 42x. Do you think I wanted Pikachu coin to do 42x, man? Why couldn't you do any of the other bags? But that's just how it is, right? It's just how it is. So Solana did 108x, like those are the big ones. But then you have all these other ones that still did 10, 15, 13. You can't do this anymore. I think the average return out here might have been like a 10 to 15x. But remember, 2017 was 50 to 100x's. Now they're down to 10 to 15x. That's why I can tell you, I've been in this game. I've been trading, investing for a long time. I'm telling you now, man, the edge is gone. I know when edges go. All right. So yes, this failure rate is not something to just like ignore. You even saw it with Frogcoin Pepe, right? Yes, 10 people win. They do win. Undeniable. It's on the blockchain. But then you get 150,000 losing. Not even just 10 people losing. Not 100 people losing. Literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people losing. Rugs, scams, etc. It's because one thing goes viral and now the scammers see, and all the other people, they see that, hey, there's a demand for people wanting things to go viral. So what they do is they go oversupply it. They just keep dumping supply in the market. Here's a new coin. Here's a new logo. They make a name for everything. That's where it gets super difficult to find the winner. You basically can't anymore. You need a huge competitive edge now. That's why you see all the influencers teaming up to dump on us, because they need a competitive edge. Their edge is that they have combined 500,000 followers, 100K each for 5 people, and they team up to them, they get in and they start shilling to each other, and the influencers end up betraying each other too. So it's not like it's all roses and fairies. So this won't last forever though. Retail's getting rinsed. I promise you this. So, there's honestly, friends, I'm going to say this now. I get some disgusting messages from people. They want me to make coins with them. They basically want me to grift with them. I get disgusting. Anonymous. It's always anonymous people. They always want me to team up, and they want me to be lured by this money. Oh, let's make a meme, etc. Make this coin. And I'll tell you now, absolutely no, I won't stand for it. This is disgusting behavior. It's robbery. All right. Just because it happens through the internet doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Okay. And I get it all the time. And I knew, damn man, a lot of people are really desperate for me to do it with me. That must mean these scammers are out there lurking. And I've seen other communities. I've seen some similarities with the ideas people have thrown my way. I'm starting to see it out there in the world, which means these people have wide networks. And the same people coming to me now. They've actually found other people to grift and do the dirty poisonous snake stuff. So you got to be careful with this. This is where people are always going to get wrong, because it's funny now. Look, I am grateful for you that strong large caps can retire you in 4 to 8 years. I don't think that is anything to ignore. This is still great because you can do research. They beat Bitcoin and Ethereum. They go up with Bitcoin and Ethereum. There'll be leverage on them effectively. When you start to go into the mid and micro cap zone, micro crap, more like it, right? The very edge of this risk curve, you are now super deep risky. Like, your chances of you gambling at this point, you have to use the G word, gambling. It's not even really investing anymore. It's just too many. So now, obviously on this, I have Hedron, Icosa, PooPoo. These are not micro caps. This is just towards the end of the risk curve. That's it. It's just showing that, hey, you can add basically, if you look at this, right? Chainlink, Hex, Pulsechain, and PulseX, they are leverage on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, they go up when Bitcoin and Ethereum go up. They go up more. And then these guys, Paw, Pleb, Hedron, and Icosa, go up more when these guys go up. Okay, and then these microcap PooPoos, these are just like, the microcap PooPoos are the final people, the final amounts of people who just really desperately to make it. They'll just come and throw it in everything. And don't think this is going to last forever, baby dolls, because the ICO mania from 2017, retailers got destroyed. So there were less retailers to do that strategy and buy ICOs in 2021. There were less. They still came in. You could make 10 to 30Xs maximum if you were lucky, but they still got crushed. So they went from 100X down to 10 to 30X. So what do you think? What do you think the next one's going to be? That's why I'm telling you, these ideas, they get oversupplied. People do them too much, right? So finally, of course, you got to remember this part. If you get it wrong with the big portfolio weight, then you are wrecked. There's no way to put it, all right? You can't rewind time. Sometimes it's better to go super hard for your 33x within 4 years instead of risk it all and make nothing. Choose your fate wisely. I really do mean this. This is how I see it because, like, man, in the stock market, they're begging for 8% every year, man. They're begging for it. That's what the average is. They're begging for an average year. That's what they're crying for it. They're like, wow. So for us to be even thinking about 3,300%, that is out of this world still. It's still out of this world. And it's not like we're geniuses. I'm not a genius. Not a genius. We're just early. That's it. We are just early. I could just see it. That's it. I'm here. That's why I'm here 16 to 18 hours a day. I can see people joining. I can see hundreds of thousands in communities where I'm like, hey, this could be multiple millions one day. I can see that. I can see it forming in my mind. And that's why we're here. The pieces of the puzzle joining together. But one day, the puzzle pieces are going to be fit. There's nothing to put together anymore because it's there. So you're going to have to decide how you play around this risk curve. You already know mine. I've got all these beautiful coins here. I'm allocated to them. That's why I always say 90% core, 10% lottery. We always want to play in the lotteries. We want to see what's coming out, what's coming new. But unfortunately, I can see it right now, man. This is not. The lotteries ain't changing your life at all. If we're lucky, in 2024, there will be a technology boost for crypto. Someone's going to invent something. It's going to capture imagination. Maybe we'll get a season, just like the Uniswap season of 2020. Maybe. But that's not guaranteed. That's not going to change your life. What's going to change your life is taking advantage of the coins that are going to move faster than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, baby dolls, you're going to call mom and dad. You're going to tell them you love them. Your like, subscribe, bell button all. And I'm going to catch you in the next one.